Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining, for subscribing, for commenting, and for sharing. I really appreciate it. If you have subscribed and you're not getting notified when I post a video, then hit the bell below the video and then you will get notified. So today the topic is, what is reality by the Galactic Federation of Light? And if you're new to my channel, my topics are given to me by them and a poem that starts off the subject. However, so the poem is a message from the Galactics, and the title is, What is Reality? Reality to some is dreadful, it's confusion, it's fear, but let me make myself clear. The life most live is a lie. Because feeling dreadful or fearful or judgmental too has never been the life meant for any of you. It happened to be your choice too. You have had options to see in a different way. But so many are robotic, they are not even aware. This is how they live each day. So many wonders are always displayed. Colorful sunsets never before seen, elementals in our skies and filling up our streams. Starships roaming our skies, do you see? Magic is everywhere, bursting out at the seams. If you open your hearts, let your egos go. Your answers you need are always within. Stop going outside of self for answers that you need. Because other people only reflect you. They give you their point of view. Does it mean it's meant for you? Not exactly, as only your higher self knows your truth. So why do you continue to go outside of you? Are you afraid to trust yourself? Do you fear what you know? Do you just want to continue down that road? Break away and be free by trusting yourself exponentially. Then you will be guided like never before. Is hidden where all the magic is hidden behind closed doors. You can travel in a whim. You can manifest your needs. You've been handed these gifts, so use them, please. Why not live a life of ease? By only following your guidance, then you too will see this illusion you believe to a life of wonderment and a life of ease. If you could see what I see, you would not have any fear. Doubting yourself is why you feel lost, confused, and because everything comes from you. No matter how it appears, you make the choices to see all the negativity presented to you. When you live in truth, those visions don't even haunt you. They don't come into your view because you attract it to you by the thoughts you think, the lies you believe, but most importantly, you are not focused on self, but still focus on everything and everybody else. Living the mindset of all those who fear. Let me uplift you by sharing what you can do and why you are even here. You are here to ascend, not defend yourselves to others or explain it to them. I cannot express enough how asking others their opinion is not the right stuff. You constantly telling yourself you do not trust them or yourself. Them meaning your guidance, your higher self. So you continue to live in a third dimensional way, not even realizing this as you go on your way. Trust yourself, practice, set it up, challenge yourself to see other realities. Ask to receive. Ask, ask, ask is the only way you live in harmony. Free will. Remember, we live on a free will planet, so they cannot give you and bring you things if you don't ask. You have to ask. Then you have to trust and know that you will receive it, and it will come in divine timing. So you don't need to beg. You don't need to plead, because it's your God-given right to receive. If I could explain how this works, you are a soul inhabiting a body, and you have a higher self, which is your multi-dimensional self. You are not one dimension, you're multi-dimensional, meaning your higher self travels everywhere and is the only part of you that knows you, who can help you and who can guide you and can give you the answers you seek. Now, sure, you can get help when you don't understand this process, when you're brand new to all of this, when you're feeling confused and angry and sad and depressed and you don't understand it. I have a lot of videos that explains that. This video is letting you know what you can do. So, you have a higher self. Everybody on the planet is only a reflection of you. You are your own God. You are your own creator. So you create everything that happens to you by what you think and by what you believe. So those who don't follow the enlightened path think in negativity, believe in negativity, so they attract it to them. They attract information to them that follows their thought process and to prove to them that they're correct. That's how it's always been. So why not prove to yourself that you are an amazing light being who came here with so many gifts that you forgot about, and utilize your gifts. Trust me, you didn't beg to come here so you could suffer. You didn't beg to come here to be ill and depressed and diseased. You came here and begged to come here so you could be part of this ascension that has never, ever, ever happened before. This is why it's taking time. It all has to line itself up. Someone said that we've ascended many times. Well, it depends. What do you mean that we ascended? We've ascended higher levels of realities while we were not on planet Earth. But the difference is that it's not necessarily an individual ascension. It's a planet ascension. Earth is ascending with you to a higher frequency. So we can live in the reality that is our true selves. Because right now, your reality is not your true self. So how do you become your true self while living in this dense reality? You block it all out. You ignore it. You don't focus on the negatives. You don't read negative information. that confuses you, that's laced with poisonous energies that confuse you. So you're not going to take a teaspoon of poison because everybody else is doing it. And if you're not sure and the bottle doesn't say poison, what do? Do you ask them or do you ask your higher self? You ask your higher self and trust. And if you have a hard time trusting, then set up scenarios to prove to yourself that this is true. So, I'm going to share another manifestation that you all can do. And I've brought this up before about another friend of mine many years ago about money that she needed to get back. But this is a new manifestation that one of my soul sisters just manifested. So, what was her problem? Her problem was she needed a car that ran. Well, it sounds funny, that ran. You know, that ran well. It drives, but it's not dependable. It's definitely not reliable. She has business in Sedona, and you know, driving through the desert 110 degrees with no air conditioning and your engine light flashing constantly is not fun. So I told her what I've told you all millions of times: write a letter, dear angels, and then explain to the angels, like in her instance, I'm sure she explained how she needed a car, why she needed a car, what she needed a car for, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because when you put your thoughts out to the universe, it goes to your higher self. Your higher self knows who out there is going to give you a car. So they go to that person's higher self, and that higher self, that person automatically goes out and does this stuff without even knowing why. They were just motivated to do it, and they did it. So this is what happened. She's a Facebook friend of mine. She posted, well, someone posted something on Facebook. I don't remember what it was. She made a comment, and then she said, oh, please, maybe you could manifest me a car. That's all she said. Why did she say that? Her higher self guided her to say that. No particular reason. Why did her higher self guide her to say that? Because there was a person who read that and decided all by himself that he was going to buy her a car. Does she know him? No. Does he know her? No. And he bought her a car. It was a used car. It's not a brand new car, but so what? It's better than anything she's currently driving. So she got herself a car with air conditioning, with a good engine, and it's a used Mercedes. It's like pretty cool. So you want to move out of your country, you write a letter. You want your fiance, or you want your twin flame to be able to meet up with you, write a letter. I mean, dear angels, burn it, tear it up. I mean, you cannot keep it in your house. So that's why you either toss it outside or you burn it. Why? You're letting them know that you let it go, you gave it to them, and you do not have another thought about it. In fact, you get to the point that you forget that you even asked. It's the only way to receive. Because if you worry about it, you don't believe it, you're not going to get it. If you think about it, you're resisting, you're putting in the law of resistance. Because the more you think of something, the more you resist it. Do you know that? So you have to let it go. Go on your merry way. And it'll show up. Now, I had the most amazing experience that I'm going to also share with you, that the Galactics want me to share with you. And this was, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. Probably was 3 days ago, because last night I had another experience, so it was the night before last. So now, I've mentioned this before, there are starships outside my house. First, I want to tell you they've been out there. I've been seeing them since 2016. The reason why they started to show up is because I asked for them to show up. So I manifested them into my vision, into my presence. And I manifested them back in 2016. And I asked and told my guides, this is what I want to see. And, you know, maybe a month or two would go by, I hadn't seen them, and I tell them again, I want to see starships. And, you know, bam, one showed up. Flashed lights at me and everything. And so now I know who they are in my vision, in my world. So fast forward 2020, they disappeared for like 4 months. And one of my twin is on the Orion ship. I'm Orion. And so I asked him why they were gone, and he said it was because they were practicing landings on Earth, doing their maneuvers. And they came back a month and a half ago. So they're finished. Now, I also want to add something else. If you are part of the 144,000 people that came here to ascend Earth, like I did, then you are an ascended master, but you're also an alien. I am an alien. And all of those who are part of the 144 are also aliens. Now, what did I manifest? I said, well, let me back up a minute. First off, back in 2016, they started changing my left eye. Now, if I close my right eye, I can just see the ship. But if I close my left eye, I just see the ship with my right eye. If I close my right eye, my left eye has been changed. So I can see shadows of people on this ship, running around, walking around, and I can see them coming out towards me. Because remember, these ships are cloaked. So all I see is this big, humongous, bright star with all kinds of lights. But I can't take a photo of it. It doesn't show up like that. It just shows up like a circle. So, in any case, that started back in 2016 of me being able to see them. So 2 nights ago, I went outside and I closed one of my eyes, looked at the ship. I always ask who they are. So who comes around me is either an Orion ship, Andromedan ship, or a Pleiadian ship. This one happened to be Pleiadian. I know a alien Pleiadian. And so I asked him, are you on this ship? And he said, yes. So I just closed my eye, tried to see them. But what happened was I was drawn to this ship. Like I started getting closer and closer and closer to it. And this alien started walking towards me, and he got closer and closer and closer to me, where he was only maybe 200 feet away from me. And he looked like Darth Vader. The only difference is that from his neck up, he didn't look like Darth Vader, but it looked like he had like a helmet on, because it was his face was like all shiny, and it looked like a helmet, but then the eyes were like this, and they were a light. It was just pure light coming out of that. And the next minute, I was on the ship. Because trust me, I've asked, I want to go on that ship. I want to go on that ship. That's what I want to manifest. I really wanted to go on the Orion ship, but I'll explain that later. So in any case, here I am with this guy standing in front of me, and I'm on the ship. But I don't know where on the ship I am, but it was shaped like a tunnel, meaning that it was, rounded. And everything on the side and on the top and on the bottom, the whole thing was padded with, the pads were like not red like this, but deep burgundy red. So then I'm back. Now, first of all, which I forgot to mention, I'm sitting on a beach chair on my patio. It's been like 100 degrees here. It was dark. It was like 8 o'clock at night. It was like 80 degrees outside. Now I'm sitting on my chair. I'm doing all of this. I end up all of a sudden on this ship. And then the next second, I'm back in my chair. And when I see the starship is way, way far away. And it just blew my mind. Now, that day, which I'm going to mention also, which has nothing to do with this video, is that I am, or have become, the ghost whisperer, because ghosts come to my house weekly, at least 3 to 4 to 5 a week. And I send them to the light, transition them off the planet, something you can do. And I'll get back to that. But what's interesting about them is everyone that's passing away that comes to me, that gets stuck, are not from the United States, but they're from Europe. And so on that note, I know I just went off, but I'll just finish it. I decided to do a trick. So what I did is I sat down, I closed my eyes like this, really tight. And, when you close your eyes, you don't really see anything, but I just saw this light. So I thought, okay, if that white light must be that person who just passed away. And I said, can you show yourself to me? And it was like a slit kind of started to open up, and a nose popped through, and then these eyes popped through, and the face kind of, not the whole face, but part of the face like this popped through. And I could recognize if it was a man or a woman, how old they were, and then I would ask them how they passed. And I had 5 men here who were in a train crash. I had a lot of people who've just passed from cancer. Someone came from a plane crash. There was a plane crash, a train crash, illnesses, cancer, whatever. I can tell the difference now between men and women, because when the men come, they get your attention. This is how you know they're in your house. And like I'll be sitting on my sofa and then my AC turns on. I didn't turn it on, so I ask my higher self, is there someone here? Yes. Or I'll go into the bathroom and something's on the floor that's not supposed to be on the floor. Or I'll go into my bedroom and my comforter has been moved. This is the stuff that they do. The females are nice. They don't throw things on the floor like the men do or whatever. Just thought that was kind of funny. But they're fearful. And they come to me because of my energy, and that's how they'll come to you. So it's not about, haha, ghosts are here, isn't this fun? No, it's a ghost is in your house because they didn't transition the way they were supposed to. So you just send them to the light, and you just tell them, you go to the light, your family is there waiting for you, and you'll be full of love, and you'll be living in paradise. And they leave. So I know that just came up automatically, but in any case, so I will continue with this. So the same night that I traveled on this ship, now it took me 8 months to manifest that. I didn't go out the next night, so it was 3 nights ago. But I went out again last night and I thought, this time the Orion ship was out there. My twin is on the Orion ship. So I've been asking my twin. Now, this is another thing. I travel a lot. I have mentioned before I time travel. I've been time traveling almost every single night now. But my higher self tells me when I'm going to go to the ship. Now, I know that I am an alien, and this is why I go. I also was told that I'm a commander of the Orion ship. Do I remember? No. Do I have visions of it? No. I have no memory. So I've asked them over and over again, I want to remember. I want to remember. Just one time. Let me dream about it. Let me remember. But unfortunately, well, I guess not unfortunately, I went to a Palladian ship. I wanted to go to the Orion ship. I wanted to have that memory, but that will come. It just hasn't come yet. But this is what happened yesterday. So yesterday the Orion ship's there. I'm talking to my twin. And I want to tell you the power of my twin. Of the powers that are not on this planet Earth. I have 8 herniated discs in my back and full of arthritis. And I do have pain. Not all the time because I refuse to have it. I ask for healing. But I see a chiropractor weekly. But my point is that I can't stand for 10 minutes without getting in pain. Now, if I'm not in pain and I'm standing, I'm fine. But after 10 minutes, I have to sit down. I'm standing outside talking to my twin, and all of a sudden, I have no pain. I can stand outside and talk to him for 35, 40 minutes with no pain. Because he told me that he healed my pain. So he could see when we ascend to the 5th dimension, this is how I will be without any pain at all. And so will none of you. None of you. You must believe this and know this and feel it in your heart. Ask your higher selves. So anyway, I said, well, if, my friend on the Palladian ship can beam me up, why can't you? So I closed my right eye. Now, he gave me an experience, but it wasn't that experience. It was different. Now, I do have visions. I see everything. What I saw was a lion's face. It was almost like a drawing of a lion's face. It was very faintly like in front of me. Ship is up here. This lion's face is like right here. It was like a drawing, with big eyes. And like I would peer through the eyes, but the eyes was like a telescope. I don't know if I'm making sense to you, but it was like a telescope. So as I looked through the eyes of this drawn lion, because it didn't look real, it just looked like a drawing. It was like the starship got closer and closer and closer. And what was on top of the starship blew my mind because it was the same exact face that I saw on the Palladian. So the top of the starship had like helmet on with those eyes that was all light. And then, it went back up. And when I closed my right eye, I could see that face clearly on top of the ship. What does that mean? As of yet, I do not know. I will find out. I will know. I will be told. I know I will. I don't know when and when I am. And if they want me to share it with you, I most definitely will. But this is the life. This is the reason you came here. Excuse me. Because you knew how hard it was going to be. You knew how dreadful it was going to be. You knew all of this, but you knew your gifts. So focus on that. Focus just on what you can do. Focus on your powers, your strengths, and love of self. You've got to love yourself. And right now, the planet, the planets, they're all lined up, bringing you out, or bringing out of you, that's what I wanted to say, everything negative that's still trapped inside. So you've got to release all of that first. So spend your days healing yourself, loving yourself, to the time that you get to a point where you are where I'm at right now. And the reason I'm here right now is because 3 weeks ago I was triggered because I still had stuff stuck in me that was not about unconditional love, especially when it came to my family. When it came to my family, all my thoughts were negative. And so that was a trigger to show me what I still need to work on myself. Because that's all people do, people. They trigger you, challenge you, so you can see what you need to change about yourself. It's called your shadow self because you're not aware of it. So those who go out and judge others, those who have negative opinions of people, those people are not awake because they are not healed within. They don't love themselves. And they're constantly challenged by people over and over and over and over again. And the difference is they don't step back and go, thank you for coming to my life and challenging me to show me what I still need to change about myself. They blame it on everyone else. They still look outside of themselves. They still point fingers at other people. This is the difference between being fully awakened and being partially awakened or not being awake at all. That's all the difference. So, do you know what it's like? Oh, and I forgot to even bring this one thing up, and that'll be the end of the video. The night that, the first night that I traveled to the ship, first I had a ghost in the house. Then I had the experience traveling to the ship. And then I went to bed. And I live in a small apartment. I mean, when you walk in my front door, you see my whole apartment. You see, well, you don't see the bathroom. You see the bedroom, the kitchen, the living room, because my apartment's only like 500 square feet. So when I'm in my bedroom, I can see my refrigerator, my kitchen. And that same night, I'm looking, at my refrigerator. I mean, not for any particular reason. And there were 2 aliens in my kitchen, standing in front of my refrigerator. Now, how did they appear? They appeared like they were outlines of bodies, but they were all white. So they were white beings. They weren't in any color. They were just white. But clearly, like how you see me with dark hair and red and white top on, that would be like just seeing me, but just white. I'm just white with no clothes on, but I'm white. And they were, now what do on the top part of my refrigerator, because I have the refrigerator where the freezer's on top and the refrigerator's on the bottom. On the top part are photos of me when I was younger. So I keep them up there because I tell myself this is how I'm going to look when I go to 5D, because we're all going to get new bodies. So I've said many times, yeah, I want to look exactly like I've looked before in my new body, but I don't want to be, ill, and I don't want to have arthritis, and I don't want to have back pain and blah, blah, blah. Of course I won't. But of course I just tell them that. And one of the faces of this alien, I swear to God, looked like the cartoon face of Pluto. Pluto was a dog, if you know that. But yeah, it's like floppy ears, like a face of a dog. And it was, going like this. And they were pointing at my photos, and they were having this conversation. Now, this is what came to me. And I'm going to trust it because it's what I picked up. I didn't ask them anything. It was a thought that came to me. But because I've been telling my higher self, whoever listens to me when I speak, because I talk out loud to myself all the time, how I wanted to look. And so the message was that they were looking at my photos trying to figure out how to reform my new body that I'm going to receive. And that's what I believe. And it doesn't matter if you believe me or not. It's what I believe, and that's all that matters. So I shared some off-the-wall information with you. And what do you do with this information that I shared with you? Do you judge me? No. Because if you're judging me, you're judging yourself. Do you ask your friends? No. You ask your higher self. Is what she said true? Can she really go on a ship? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to ask. Ask your higher self if it's true. Because I saw it. If I could take a video of it and show it to you, trust me, I would. I tried to take a photo of them at my refrigerator, but it didn't come out. I mean, all that came out was a white line coming down my refrigerator. That doesn't show anything. So I know I threw in some information about ghosts, but a lot of people are passing away and a lot of people are not transitioning. And so this is how you do it. Always be aware and be awakened and ask what you want to receive. Learn spiritual tools. If you're new to this, I have a video. I posted it, maybe last year, maybe the beginning of this year. I really don't remember, but it's in there on spiritual tools. You are powerful. You have gifts. You can create and manifest whatever you want. My other friend manifested money. This friend manifested a car. I manifested going on a spaceship. If you want to manifest going on a spaceship, do that. Whatever it is that you want to do. And only have a relationship, again, I say this every week, with your higher self. Only ask your higher self. Only ask your higher self. I can't stress that enough. Anyway, if you need help with emotional issues, if you need help with things like that, yes, people can help you. I can help you with that. I'm not saying not to ask people for help in those situations, helping you to awaken. But if they tell you how to do everything or what you have to do or that you have to take a class, no. You all find out yourself. How did I find out that I was Orion? I asked, what star nation did I come from? And I woke up the next morning and a dragon was hanging from my ceiling. What does a dragon represent? Reptiles. The reptilian nation is Orion. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't know what this is. So that's the deal. That's what you do. Because people help you when they teach you how to help yourself. That's what good leaders do. Teach you how to teach yourself, how to help yourself, not to give you answers, not to figure things out for you, but to show you how to do it. And then, of course, it's your choice to do it. You can choose to do it and you can choose not to do it. That's, of course, your choice. That's your free will. But it's also free will that you have to ask to receive. And I'm not, again, speaking about asking other people. I'm talking about asking your guides or your higher self. You made a pact with a guide who's with you 24/7, besides all the other guides that you have. They do change. And you can get drawings of them. I don't care what you believe, you can. There are people who have that gift. Everybody has a special gift. Find your gift. What you're passionate about. Live in that world of knowing what the future holds is only paradise and heaven and beauty. Freedom of illness, disease, and elections and taxes and rent and money and all that crap that's been brought to this planet that's not reality. That's not reality. None of it. So, I've said enough. Thank you for joining. Please share, like, comment. I enjoy all your comments. You can comment below my video. You can send me an email, however you choose. And enjoy your week. And maybe something magical will appear for you. See you next week. Bye.